I, of course, am biased on this topic, as I always am when we're talking about products that we sell. I feed my family, my employees feed their families, all from the products that we're talking about, ceramic coating being one of them. It's one of the big three things that we do. We do tint, PPF, and ceramic coatings. But what I also wanted to do is try to create a video that accurately depicts the pros and cons in as honest of a way as I can possibly do. When we sell a product to a customer, we want to make sure that we are giving you proper expectations and that you understand exactly what you're getting. We don't want, it's a really big problem for us if a salesperson makes a mistake and doesn't tell you exactly what you're getting or set those expectations. It does happen from time to time. A salesperson messes that up, or a customer maybe has done a lot of their own research and some of that information is not correct, and then they come to us with complaints that this isn't doing what it's supposed to do. For example, a ceramic coating, a lot of times people say, hey, this isn't blocking rock chips. Well, it's not designed to do that. And so that's what I'm going to address with you guys today. What are the pros? What are the cons of a professional grade ceramic coating? We'll start with the good stuff. Why does somebody get a ceramic coating in the first place? Well, it's pretty simple. It makes the car really shiny. It looks great. It looks like you just waxed it and polished it, probably because we did. You know, a professional shop, they probably polished the paint before they coated it. It's hydrophobic, and things don't stick to it very well. So it makes getting things off the paint very easy. I always compare it to cooking with a cast iron or a stainless steel pan versus a good ceramic coated pan. And when you go to wash it, you just can, you know, the ceramic coated pan you can wash out really easily. It's the same with your paint. So if you have a ceramic coating on the paint, things that are stuck to it, bug guts, tar, bird droppings, all of those things come off a lot easier. And because of that, it has a bit of a scratch resistance, if you can call it that, but it's mostly because you just don't have to scrub as hard. One of the misconceptions is that ceramic coating offers a lot of scratch resistance, and we'll get into that on the cons, but it really doesn't. So that non-slick surface creates easy, quick cleaning, which means you spend less time washing your car. You spend less time drying off your car because of the hydrophobicity. Every time we talk to somebody that has a ceramic coating on their car that loves it, it's pretty much the first thing they say. It's so easy to wash. It dries off with a leaf blower. It takes me 10 minutes to clean the car top to bottom instead of an hour. So it's a massive time savings, and then when you're done, it looks like you just waxed it. But you don't have to wax it anymore. So the long-term viability of a ceramic coating is also one of the huge pros of it, as long as you take care of the coating. It does provide some environmental protection. What I mean by that, acid rain, bird droppings, staining from bug guts, if you're in Florida, from love bugs, things like that. But it doesn't offer the ultimate protection, which is more like a paint protection film from the impact from the love bugs or from the impact from rocks or scratches. The ceramic coating is really not going to do much for that. There are interior coating options as well. We're actually going to do a video on this for Dr. M3. He has a Tesla with a white interior. We ceramic coated that interior 150,000 miles ago, and he's been really happy with the performance and the stain resistance on the white leather specifically. So that pretty much sums up the reasons why people get it. Those are the pros of the coating. It looks great, it's easy to clean, it looks like it's waxed when you do clean it, you can coat the interior, and it has some environmental protection. Now on the other side, the cons. There's a few things to address here. The first is the limit to the protection of a coating. Ceramic coating is often advertised as a paint protection, and I would say it can be misleading. It does not offer that much protection. It does a lot for aesthetics, it does a lot for easy cleaning, but very little for protection. If you really want to protect the paint, you're going to need a film, some sort of PPF like XPEL, on your surface of your paint. It comes in a roll. This ceramic coating comes in a bottle. It is a liquid that gets applied almost like a wax. So it offers very little protection in that way. There's a relatively high cost associated with a ceramic coating if it's done professionally. You're going to be looking at anywhere from, on the low end, really low end, $1,000 to $2,000, $3,000, maybe even $4,000 for some really high-end coatings with a lot of prep and paint correction work. That's sort of one of the other cons, is that all of that prep work, which is what contributes to the cost. There's washing, clay barring, decontaminating the paint, and then polishing it. It often takes us upwards of 2 days to fully prep a car before we install the coating. So there's time down with the car, and then there's the cost associated with all of that prep. But perhaps the biggest con and the biggest problem that we see with ceramic coatings is the amount of care that you have to put into taking care of it. It is not something for somebody that likes to neglect their car. And I think that there's a misconception where people say, man, if I get the ceramic coating, I never have to wax the car again, or I never have to wash the car again, or it just stays clean. You never have to wax the car again, that's true if you're taking care of it properly, but you do have to wash it. I would even argue that you might have to wash it more frequently than if it's not coated, because you don't want that coating to get like clogged up and stop working, and then it needs to go to, you know, basically a professional to decontaminate the surface of the coating and bring it back to life. So a really important step when you have a car that's ceramic coated is consistent, good washing. And that doesn't really mean taking it through the local touchless car wash. They use really harsh chemicals. They often have sealants and washes or, you know, waxes and things like that in their lines that they're spraying the car off. So even if you don't choose that option, sometimes those things are still getting on the surface. Really, you want to do hand washes, and you want to hand wash the car probably every 2 weeks. And that's where we see the biggest failures with ceramic coatings. Is somebody, you know, did some research and thinks, I don't have to touch this thing for 6 months or a year because I don't have to wax it anymore. And it's just simply not true. It's like anything. Fine jewelry is something that comes to mind. If you buy a expensive engagement ring or a watch or something like that, it requires maintenance, or a car in general. If you buy a really high performance car, if you buy a Ferrari, you're gonna have to do probably more maintenance on that than you would on a Dodge Durango with a V6. There's just finer tolerances and things like that in the engine. It's true of a ceramic coating. You get a ceramic coating, you're gonna need to pay attention to take care of that. You can't just polish it out and re-wax it. If you polish it, you're going to be removing the ceramic coating that you paid for from the shop. So the biggest con, I would say, is the aftercare of a ceramic coating. But if you are somebody that is an enthusiast, that likes to take care of your car, that enjoys washing it and making sure that it stays clean, the benefits are awesome. And we do about 4 or 5 coatings a week per store. We have 3 stores right now. All of those customers are typically very, very happy. We like to lay this stuff out for you before you purchase it, and then give you that aftercare information so you're never stuck saying, man, this isn't what I paid for. We like to be very honest about expectations, and hopefully this video helped you understand the good and the bad of a ceramic coating and helped you make a decision.